Hello, everyone. How are you? Um, so another day, and I hope that you made through this day well, and perhaps with a little bit more insight, a little bit more peace, a little bit more open heart than yesterday. So it is my hope that each day we are a little bit stronger. We're a little bit more trusting. We're a little bit more loving. And we're a little bit more at peace. And it may be counterintuitive because I know the cases in Michigan have gone up. With that, the fear will also go up, but it doesn't need to. And so tonight's live is for a specific purpose. You know, it came to my attention through actually a friend and a colleague of mine, the topic of abuse and violence. And she said something like, you know, in China, in the month of February, the domestic violence cases had tripled. And there was something about, you know, awareness of, you know, domestic violence increasing as people are anxious and fearful, and that can produce all kinds of emotions which we don't know how to digest and process. And not being able to go anywhere can bring another kind of panic. So this is a topic of abuse of any kind, whether it is physical, mental, psychological, or sexual. And it's one of those topics that can traumatize actually both the victim and the perpetrator for a very long time. And it's one of those things that many people, you know, don't have the courage to seek help with. Hopefully we are becoming more and more aware. And why this topic speaks to me, because, you know, I see a lot of patients in my clinical practice, and I didn't want to make this a gender issue, a man or woman. You know, although there are more cases that are actually at least reported for domestic violence and sexual abuse against women rather than men. But just because what's reported, it may not be factual. So I really am speaking for anyone who has suffered from any kind of abuse. The psychological abuse actually is the worst kind in some ways because the marks aren't there. And the psychological abuse can affect us for a very, very long time to come. And the physical abuse actually at the same time abuses, it violates you at a very deeper level as well. So this is a topic that that I think we are ready to have a conversation about and see how we can heal from the trauma of these experiences. So when we look at the trauma, it helps to look at the energy of it. So when we look at the energy of it, the energy of being victimized cannot be separated from the energy of being the one who's powering over or perpetrating. So, you know, when we talk about healing, we're talking about healing at the very deep cause. We're not talking about healing in the sense of, there's a 800 number and those things are needed. We need that to give support to people who need it. But I just want to go, invite you to go a little deeper, to think a little bit deeper. So, because in my opinion, when we go deeper, we cut the problem a little bit more each time. So, instead of, there is something about supporting the victims and saving the victims. But I think if we can save the perpetrators, there may not be any victims. So that's where I am, heading. And I think that pain brings more pain. There's not, anybody who has been a perpetrator, they have their own pain that they have not dealt with. So that's how this continues to get passed on from person to person in the families. And when we don't know what to do with experiences of abuse or violence, something happens. We begin to cause that pain to someone else. On the surface, it looks like we are causing pain. How is that possible when I am myself in pain? But really, from the higher level, from the soul's perspective, from the level of the soul, you're being asked to, it needs to process that experience. So I like to think of it as that when we are continuously engaged in creating pain to others by violence or abuse, there is a cry from our soul to process that experience and to heal it. But when we don't know that, we can be stuck in the cycle for generations and not know what to do with it. So this topic is deep and it's personal, and it is there's much to be talked about that. But I wanted to do is just if you have been subjected to abuse of any kind, and if you have inflicted that pain on anyone else, just remember that this is between you and you. This is your invitation to perhaps end that cycle of pain here. This is an invitation perhaps for you to sit, and I'm going to walk you through a guided meditation. And this is a time perhaps we can look at it a little deeper. Those who cause pain, please understand that they are in pain. No, that's not a license to cause pain to others. I know, but that's what happens. It happens as a way to process or make sense of that pain. But because we don't know that's what we don't know how to connect with our higher selves. When we don't know that's what we are doing, it creates more pain and we get stuck in the cycle of pain, deeply desiring not to be in it, not knowing how to get out of it, and not knowing what to do with these experiences, we remain forever stuck. So hopefully with tonight's meditation, we can at least begin to look at it. So this is not a magic wand. This is not something that we can, it's going to be healed in one shot. That's okay. What really it takes is takes the first step. Take the first step. Look at it. Go inside of it and see if you can stir up the process, and that's where the healing is going to come from. So at this point, I'm going to this topic. It broke my heart. It spoke to me because I see that in my practice for both genders, and pain is pain. If one thing that we have learned from the coronavirus is that our vulnerabilities and our pain is uniting us all over the globe. Okay, we're all vulnerable at this time. We are all experiencing the collective energy of fear and uncertainty and confusion, and that can bring to surface all everything that we carry with us on day-to-day basis, but we don't have time to look at it, or we don't look at it, we distract away from it, we push it away, and we kind of continue to do life, which is natural. But this kind of epidemic that's going on, it can stir all that we've been carrying from prior to this epidemic, because it's there, it's looking for a channel. So that pain that we carry, the traumas that we carry, is looking for a channel to flow. In the flow is how it gets transformed or transmuted. And so there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity here for us to heal, not just collectively as a world, as a planet. There's also an opportunity for us to heal on a personal level, because things that need to heal are going to begin to show up organically. And the challenge is not to react to what we are experiencing. So anger doesn't mean we go punch somebody in the face, okay? Our wounds, when they show up, it doesn't mean that we inflict the wounds on someone else. And these emotions, these experiences, they rise for us to introspect. This is a compass, it's rising, it's asking you to please pay attention, please look at it, please let it tell you something, please find out what is it, how it is that you need to heal. But it's not meant to burn others. Our emotions are never meant to burn others. Expressing emotions and reacting out of emotions are two separate things. Expressing emotion of anger and frustration and fear right now would be, I am feeling very fearful. I don't know how to navigate this gray zone. I don't know what tomorrow brings. It makes me feel uncertain and anxious. That's how we communicate. It wouldn't be, we don't, just because we are fearful or panicked, it's not to go start hurting others by either verbally, mentally, emotionally, physically, or sexually. Okay? Although it may feel like that this is going to give me a temporary relief. But look where we are. We've been chasing the temporary joys. We've been chasing the temporary reliefs for a long time. It didn't work. It's not working. So here we are. So that's what has gotten us in this kind of mess in the first place. So we have to go deeper. Whatever that deeper means for you, it just means you got to stop looking external to resolve that what you were experiencing, because the answers are going to come when we change the direction and go inward. It's you go at your own pace, you do what you can do, but you start the process. You be gentle and kind to yourself, you be patient to yourself, you begin to heal the pain so you do not cause pain to your loved ones, to those who are near you. So there is, I just thought about how when we, everyone at this time is really there, everybody's heart is kind of bleeding, it's flowing, it's opening, there's a lot of compassion. At the very core of life, we are compassionate, loving beings. At the very core of life, we want to be of service. At the very core of existence, we want to connect because we see ourselves in others' stories. We see ourselves in others' pain. We get inspired and motivated by others. We are inseparable. So there's no point trying to divide people either by gender, either by race or culture or ethnicity or level of income, etc., 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 physical abilities. There's really no point. Our psyche, our soul does not become happy when we divide. It actually feels at peace when we unite. So that's what I like to start thinking. Would encourage you to the time and the environment that has been created, that we may go within, that we may take a little look inside, just simply changing the direction, simply sitting with it. You're going to gain insights and your own wisdom, which you've been needing, which we need. And that wisdom and that insight is going to help you heal. Okay? So at this point, I know it's Saturday night. I know we all have had a rough week. But this had just come to my attention and I felt like I had to say something or do something. So I will keep this as short as I can, just because this is a very deep topic, but maybe 10-minute guided meditation. So wherever you are, and feel free to, if you are watching, and send me a comment. Again, this is a very personal and painful topic. I invite you to send me a private message if you need to connect, if I can support you and guide you in any way. I will also put the 800, the hotline number for domestic abuse and violence, and I hope that you don't have to use it. So if you're using it against your partner, and it's my really call to your partner that they become the 800 number, that they become a place of security and safety for you. And so if you are that person who can provide safety and security for your partner, that's what you're being called to do. All right, enough. Let's go ahead and I'm going to guide you through a meditation. Take a minute, close your eyes, please. Let's just begin with breathing. And I'm going to ask you to bring your attention to your breath above the base of your upper lip, below your nostrils, noticing your inhale and your exhale. Listening to the sound of the breath. Noticing the movement of the breath in your body, movement in your chest, your ribs, and perhaps your belly. Notice the rhythm of the breath, how each inhale is seamlessly joining the next exhale, and each exhale is seamlessly joining the next inhale. So breathing consciously as you begin to pay attention to the sound, the movement, and the rhythm of the breath. That's it. With each breath, get settled in your body. Relax the hips. Let your belly be soothed with this gentle rhythm of your breath. Relax the shoulders. Relax your jaw, facial muscles, and your forehead. Breathing into your hips, all the way down to your feet, so the body from your hips to your feet becomes really grounded into the earth. Lean back into the back a little bit so your heart can open. Again, as you inhale, direct the breath into the belly, let it expand. Lengthen the breath up. At the end of the inhale, take a U-turn, empty it out. And gently pull the navel in at the end of the exhalation. So just breathing consciously, and with each breath, get settled in your body a little more. So gently drop into your heart. If the conversation on this topic, what I just said before the meditation, stirred up an incident, an event, an experience that yet has to be metabolized, both for the victim and the perpetrator, it's possible that we have been both at some point in our lives. We may not remember, or we may not think that, because these energies are circular. One does not exist without the other. We can't heal the victim without healing the perpetrator within us. So allow that experience to come into your awareness. Allow it to come in the form of images, perhaps sounds, perhaps incidents. Only allow it to come as much as you feel comfortable with, but just begin. Knowing that you are safe here, that you are always divinely protected. So the pain, the anger, the confusion may begin to stir up and rise. And the energy of that pain may begin to flow in the form of tears, let it flow. You may experience anger, but just know beneath all anger there's pain. It takes a certain kind of strength to be vulnerable. It takes a certain kind of strength to experience that pain. If you are listening to this meditation, you have that strength. So simply allow yourself to feel what you do feel. And the next step is the acceptance. That's a big deal. So accepting your own experience. So often we get caught up in the details of the story. So often we continue to talk about the details of the people who did what and all the external things of our story. And it's useful. But the healing has to come from when we just simply pay attention to our own experiences. What is it that you experienced, and making that experience your own, taking responsibility for that, what you experienced. And hopefully many times when we begin to take responsibility, we gain some of our power back. We gain some of our energy and our strength back. Because we can spend years in holding grudges, anger, whether it's justified or not, it really doesn't matter. But we really can't do anything about it. So engaging in holding on to the pain of it against the perpetrator, it just begins to weaken us. It'll begin to weaken you. So what you want to do is just simply hold yourself, taking responsibility for your experience, so you begin to feel more power in healing it. So by this time, you may notice other things come up. There's any time with abuse of any kind, there is shame, guilt, and that runs deep. And one of the things that I like to share with you, as you're processing this, that at the core of our being, we are pure light and love. So beyond the body, the non-physical part of you, think of that as light, a ball of light. It's not good or bad, it just is. There's no judgment there, there's no shame or guilt there. They're just simply pure consciousness. And no violence of any kind can penetrate that. No violence of any kind can break that. That's the place I'm inviting you to come in. That's the place I'm inviting you to connect with. So continue to connect with that part of you, which is pure light and love. And know that these experiences in your life have come to heal you, have come to make you whole. These experiences have come to take you to that place of wholeness, to that place of love and light within you. Those who perpetrate are part of your healing team. Like I said, I think there's a victim and a perpetrator in each one of us, showing up differently in one way, shape, or form. When we understand that, forgiveness can flow easily. So, taking responsibility for your experience and just gently begin to open your heart to your experience. That's where it may bring another level of difficulty, but just know, even when it feels difficult, the fact that you are sitting still and moving through this process, the process has already happened. It has already started. It's just that process is difficult. Process is painful. But it's far better to experience that pain and experience that and open your heart to it than to carry it and carry it into your life for a very long time to come. At the worst, causing pain to someone else, because ultimately that's what we begin to do. We begin to cause pain to others because at the higher self we are looking to digest or metabolize it. When we don't know how to metabolize it, we get triggered to experience it and we cause it to others to process it. But there's another way. So the another way is to go inside of you, open your heart to your pain. So when you open the heart, just simply that intention will begin to flow a different kind of energy that has healing vibration, energy that has a little higher vibration, energy of love. Remember, love is what we all are looking for at the end of it all. And when you open your heart, behind that pain, the anger, the shame, and the guilt, and numerous other emotions that we experience is the desire for love. Who is desiring that love, that connection? You are. So this is how we heal full circle. When we open the heart, we become the freedom train. This is how we free the energy of being victimized. This is how we free the energy of being a perpetrator. This is how we love our pain. This is how we free these energies. So continue to open your heart, and you may even have a little appreciation for the traumas, for the experience that you have had, because it has led you to experience yourself in a whole new way. It has led you to an experience that the healing that you can heal within, the healing power lies within you. So I'm just inviting you to access that. Continue to breathe. So over the next few days, weeks, when you are triggered, when the memories come up, when you begin to experience the pain, simply feel it. Sit silently, sit still, go into your heart and simply feel it. quite scary to be able to feel that, but that's what's going to give you your power back. You can heal it. You can do it. You are built to heal. All of us come into this lifetime with healing. Otherwise, we would be little angels fluttering around. We're not doing that yet. So it's an opportunity to come full circle with your own traumas, with your own pain. Continue to open your heart and see if you can begin to look at forgiveness. Forgiving yourself, forgiving the others. Everything we do is between us and our God. Everything I do is between me and me. It's between me and my higher self, me and God. It has nothing to do with anyone else. So I'm not in a place to forgive. But I am in a place is to let go of it. Heal myself. Love heals. And forgiveness isn't yours to give. But letting go is within your control. By letting go is how you regain your power. So continue to breathe. And go ahead, and at this point, you may gently open your eyes. So, and I know that there's a lot here, and it may have stirred up a lot of discomfort, pain that perhaps you didn't want to experience. But I think sooner or later, we do have to go through that process. Otherwise, it runs our lives, and that's no fun. So what you may do is take a piece of paper and pen and just begin to journalize whatever showed up for you. And that can be a good practice, on a daily basis, or whenever something comes up, is to write it out. That's a way to process. As you begin to continue to write, you may begin to see a pattern emerging. You may begin to make sense of the confusion that you may feel over these traumas and the experiences that you've had. And so, the good thing about healing is we can start from any place. We start as we are, and we can all heal. We are built to heal. So I thank you so much for joining me. What I'm going to do, I am going to give you an 800 number above this video for domestic violence hotline. I think it's a national or international number. I copied it from another post. And so, again, don't force anybody to call that number. Be the 800 number. Be a place of protection, safety for your partner. So thank you so much. And if you'd like to reach out to me, I know this is a very highly sensitive topic. You can message me, Messenger. There's a personal message that only I will see. And so just know that there's we live in times, there's a lot of help available. Suffering no longer we no longer need to suffer. We don't. We really need to look at what's needed, and the resources are there. We are able to have conversations. We're really ready to be done with the shame and the guilt of so much of the mental disorders that are showing up. So we are ready. We're ready to move into the next era where we can be integrated human beings, where we understand that our mental, emotional, our psychological health is just as just as important, if not more, than our physical health. Physical health is a result of our mental, emotional, psychological, energetic, and spiritual health. Physical health is where it shows up. So if we want to be physical healthy, we have to go deeper and connect the dots and be healthy all the way. All right. So thank you so much. Please stay calm. And I'm sending you all love. You are in my heart. I will be doing some guided meditations over the next couple of weeks, probably tomorrow as well, just on various things that have come up that I think that we can all use some guidance and help with. So love to you all. And I will put the 800 number and be well. Namaste. Have a good night. And what I wanted to say, thank you, Allison, Paul, John, and Chandni for joining. Thank you so much. Please feel free to share this video who you think might benefit from it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.